Hi there, it's time for another update to the impronounceable app, Domnibus. Now I'm going to call this one the creator update because, well, I've released the creator feature. So one thing before we go on, Domnibus is now backwards compatible with all devices down to Android KitKat, or K. So that's just a small bit there. We can now run on more devices. Hooray! Now let's go into the meat of things. First off, you probably want to know how to activate the creator feature, and that is simply by going to this menu here and then tapping on this tab. Now, one thing though is that this feature is a paid feature, so it's going to be not $22, not $22.22, but $2 Canadian. So it's going to translate to whatever currency you have, so it might be less, it's definitely fewer pounds, and so on and so forth. Wait, you say, what if I want to do a quick trial and I don't want to actually pay at the moment? Well, until 2019, I can guarantee you can actually activate a workaround or a loophole, or not really. This is programmed in. You just have to press and hold on that tab and enter in your favorite password, the very insecure one at 22. You just tap OK, and you'll see that creator mode's been temporarily unlocked. You're going to have to enter that in every time, but this will allow you to create your own tricks. So just tap on the plus button and you can create your own. So now you end up with a blank trick, of course. Now, you probably know most of this if you've explored around. If you haven't, there's going to be a video linked to in that eye over there in the top right corner, unless it's several years in the future and YouTube's already gotten rid of that feature. Instead, look down in the description where you can actually learn, you can get the link. Unless they move the description back over there. Who knows? Just look in the description, whatever it is or called, and check the link for the original or the previous announcement video for Domnibus. Anyways, that was a mouthful. Once you have that feature unlocked, we can look at the different changes. So first off, in here, okay, one of the first changes you'll notice is that we now have a pencil button in place of the native Android switch. We just need to toggle that, and then it unlocks creator mode for the virtual scene or setup, and by default you always get a single domino embedded into the floor. Now, one thing you want to look at is if you tap on the add, subtract, or plus minus button, or whatever that is, you can add more than just a domino. You can now add several or a small handful of accessories and a domino. So, for example, you can add a field starter, like that, and then you can translate it to the right. Right now it's relative to domino dimensions, but we can change that later on. We can also add some other things. We've got a direction changer, like so. And we can even rotate it if we wanted to. And we can also add, whoops, a bridge, like that. We can rotate that, translate it. And we can also finally add a set of small to large dominoes, like that. Now these move at the same time. They're all treated as one unit. They could be separated out if I were to do that in code, but I have not, so this is how they behave at the moment. Now these accessories are currently the dimensions that Sprice uses. So if you've worked in any of Sprice's projects or you've watched his videos that he's involved in, these are typically the accessories that he uses, so it's scaled to that those dimensions and sizes. It's actually very easy to extend the project so that we can add other accessories if you have any thoughts, but at the moment this is what we have. Now you may have found it very tedious to go to the select menu, which is this one, and to choose whichever item you want. by going left, right, and going through all of them. Even this first, middle, and last toggle doesn't really help if you've made so many dominoes you don't know where to start. Well, there's a new feature we've added. All you need to do is to tap directly on the screen to select what item you want to control. So you could just tap on the accessories and you can do that as such. Smaller things you might need to zoom in first because it's not perfect. The other thing is you cannot swipe. If you swipe even a little bit, it's not going to select, so you have to be very careful with that. There, and there. Now, what else? Ah yeah, I didn't mention this, I just glossed over it. There is this other button here in the select menu. Right now you see 5 cards with one of them yellow. You can just tap on the button and you could toggle between 1 and 3 yellow cards. This is the plurality button. You can switch between single select and multi-select. That's right, you can select multiple items. Something's wrong with this bridge. You can select multiple items such as the bridge and the field starter, and then you can go ahead and translate them together. And you can also do any other transformation or edit that you would normally do with just one item, so you can even rotate. Now you might notice here that they don't rotate individually, they rotate around the center between them, or more precisely, they rotate around the average of their positions. It's kind of weird, but that's how we do it. That's how I do it. One of the reasons why we do such a thing, I can show you here if I... let's go back to... Let's create a new domino. Okay, so I just made a new domino in the same place, so I probably should just use that domino. We're going to rotate. And it did something weird, and that's because I have the other item selected there. Let's deselect that. And just rotate the domino here. Now we're going to go on and make a line of dominoes. So we're going to clone, and then we're going to... We're going to translate, and we're going to clone. Gosh, problems. So I probably should make these buttons bigger. And okay, so we've got 5 dominoes here. We can go back, select multiple. Okay, we are selecting multiple. We can select 5 dominoes like so. And what's very handy about this is we can move them all simultaneously. So if you have a bunch of stuff that is offset by a bit, you want to adjust it, you can definitely do so. You can also rotate them a bunch, so they all move now as a unit, and hopefully that's a little more useful. Okay, so it's probably been a thumb strain having so many items in the setup, and then you have to spam the add and subtract button to show or hide what you need. However, now all you have to do is to long press the minus button to hide everything except one item, or you can also press and hold on the plus button to show everything. So that's just a small thing to speed up how you prototype. Okay, something I introduced a while ago is this structure generator. So all you need to do is tap on the button, and right now we have 2 options. We can generate walls and fields. Let's start with walls. We can have different wall widths. For example, we can specify 5 dominoes as the bottom. Next up, the wall height. So that would be the number of domino widths. In this case, let's select 9, and we can skip the field dimensions by pressing down. And you also have 2 more options. That would be make the left end of wall vertical and the right end. So we can select both of them, and it will make what we typically think of as a wall. Just like that. And you could see it's intersecting with everything else, so we could probably shift that over. Just like that. And we could take a look at this thing. So it's as you'd expect, it's just a wall as usual. In this case it would be the alternating wall type. We can go back, so let's clear this out. And if we go to the generator, give it the same parameters, 5 and 9, we can instead only make the left end of the wall vertical and keep the right side not. So if we generate it, you'll see we end up with a triangle. Whoops. Oh, there we go. We get a triangle where only the left side is, well, straight or vertical. And you probably can guess now what will happen. But if we go on and select the same parameters, a width of 5 and a height of 9, and don't make either of the sides vertical, and we generate, we end up with a pyramid. So let me go on and translate this over, and you see that we have a 2D pyramid. Now, one thing to note is that I specified a height of 9, but we only have a height of 4 here, or a height of 5. And that's because, well, that's the nature of pyramids. So the app does a little bit of interpreting, but it will always guarantee that the bottom will have the width that you specify. Now let's go back and generate this time a field. Now let's say we have a field width of 15 dominoes and a depth of 5 dominoes. And let's be colorblind for now, and we will skip the color plan. And as you'd guess, we have a domino field. They are spaced quite close apart. They are just a domino width apart, so that's typically the spacing you get when you have a domino comb or a template. So that's how we have it. Right now they're all selected, so as usual you can transform everything as you'd expect and place it wherever you want to. So that's the field. Anything else? Ah yeah, one small issue with the physics simulation. The issue with that is that we don't actually include the accessories. They just disappear. They don't exist in the physics simulation, which is quite odd. What's going on here? Ah, okay. See, if there is an issue, all you have to do is go to here, select single, and just go on and tap on the domino. Now, one of the weird things is that quite possibly, if you have two things exactly at the same place, it will not select it. So let's go here. We're going to select there. You'll notice the bridge turned green again. And even though you could not see it was selected, another domino started moving out from this one. So it just happens to be the order in which we render stuff, I guess. But yeah, that's one of the weird quirks with virtual things. What else? Ah yes, I won't cover the color plan functionality. There is no easy way to do this at the moment, but we'll look at that later on. Look out for other update videos before the end of this year. Okay, let's see a couple more things. Not much has changed here in the main trick page. There is that clip still there for demoing, but if you want, there has been changes in the Domino video tutorial. So this might be a little bit familiar, probably, maybe not. If not, well, here's a video. We do have the Fainters tutorial filled out. We've got different colors showing different sections, and if you are editing your own trick, you can do different things here. So, something to show you first. Yep, that was, yep, you just missed an ad. I edited it out, but unfortunately I cannot control ads from this app, so you're going to get any ads that YouTube wants to show you. It's partially my fault, but well, that means I'm not going to add any ads into this application. It's just going to come through YouTube. I guess you could call that a plus. But other features. We now have explicit timestamps here, so you could see what time different parts of the video are. So if you want to look at pulling out the trigger, you just need to tap on this, and you get to go to that part in the video. Triggering a fainter. If you want to skip to a fun part, long line of fainters, you just tap on that, and we jump over to that part in the video. Now for editing purposes, let's say you want to add something else, you just tap on the plus button. It brings you to the timestamp edit page. You just need to add in the header. So we could say, not G, let's see, end of video. I'll just end. And then we can have description. This is the end. Just like so. As well, you can jump through time in the video. So let's go back. And you can jump through different parts in the video. You can even modify this page, or this field directly if you want to. And that just specifies different milliseconds here. I think you can you? No, you can't. However, you can also drag across the video and jump to other parts, and that will update this value here. That will dictate what time the timestamp jumps to. So if you choose someplace, let's say the very end, right here, we're going to go save, and right at the bottom we have end. You just tap it, and it jumps to the end of the video. We can jump there. We can jump there. Oh, something wacko is going on here. Pause. I think I may have broken it. Okay, let's go back and edit the timestamp. Let's give it something a little bit more realistic. There we go, something at 5:07, so we have end. And we can jump there. Okay, YouTube is much more happy now that we've given an actual timestamp that makes sense. And of course, we have the other option here. We can delete the timestamp just by deleting it. What else? Well, that's pretty much that. Yeah, pretty much that in terms of the app itself. To see what I'm working on, what I've completed, and what's already in the Google Play Store, or what I will work on in the future, you can take a look at my Trello board. Within these different cards, you can add comments and your own thoughts to suggest what I should probably work on next. I've linked to it below as usual in the description. If you want any detailed instructions on how to use Domnibus, you can take a look at the Domnibus website, which is also linked to down in the description. Well, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed this update. Keep a lookout for others. I should be able to post more videos before January 2nd, which is when I go back to school and then ghost away for some time. Thanks for watching.